You know, NATO was formed out of the wreckage of World War II, as we all know, where war, you know, it had, look, just be straight about it. Wars have repeatedly riven the continent, engulfed the world in conflicts, and there's no way to avoid that. Just a few months ago, I welcomed President Niinistö. Sweden and Finland have strong. They'll meet every NATO requirement. Nearly unanimous bipartisan ratification.
The president spoke with Swedish Prime Minister Andersson and Finnish President Niinistö to emphasize.
Good afternoon, Vice President Harris and First Gentleman. Well, actually, the second gentleman, but you're really my first gentleman.
The president had several coughing episodes. Is it possible to get an update from his physician about his status after his recovery from COVID, please?
So, as you know, we shared his negative test today. And what he's experiencing right now is the lingering effects.
Is there an update from the physician?
No, there's no update needed. We had actually said that this was a possibility. We had been clear about that. We
hear all the noise out there. We know. And securing the future, excuse me.
Thanks, Kareem. Homeland Security announced yesterday that it is ending the Remain in Mexico policy. So I just wanted to see if the White House has any reaction to that. Also, I'm wondering, too, if you can talk a little bit about the timing of this decision. The Supreme Court ruled in late June, that the administration had the authority to eliminate the program. So I'm just wondering what took so long. Did the president want it to be done earlier?
So as we have said before, the Migrant Protection Protocol, MPP policy under the prior administration was flawed, it was inhumane, and it was...
One question for Africa, Kareem.
I'm going to come back, guys.
Thank you. Why do we always have to beg for questions? Africans deserve questions as well, Kareem. Come on.
What is the latest on communications with...
And even when you give questions to Simon, it's because he forced. We don't need to force for question. We also deserve to have a question.
I will get.
Do you have something against African reporters?
On Afghanistan, Jake Sullivan said last year that there was going to be an extensive top-to-bottom review of the withdrawal and how that went.
Can you start again because someone was yelling over you?
Afghanistan.
Go ahead.
Can I have a question, Kareem?
Thank you. Jake Sullivan said last year that there was going to be a top-to-bottom extensive review on how that withdrawal went.
The hot wash.
There was some reporting today that that is not going to be ready for the one-year mark. I guess the question is, why is that process taking so long? What has been the holdup there?
So I know you're talking about the hot washing specifically. So the update that I can give you from here is that departments and agencies have begun their independent after-action reviews of the operations at the end of the U.S. military mission in Afghanistan. It's just still underway. Once we have that, we will share our lessons.
So that's wait on like agency level, department level. You haven't, White House hasn't received anything.
From what I understand, it's the department and agency levels.
No set timeline for when that's...
Don't have a timeline for you on this.
With Speaker Pelosi about it, to hear what she's heard on the ground, what the Taiwanese government would want to see from the U.S. government. Is he seeking at all a conversation like that?
So one thing they talk pretty regularly, right? This is the Speaker of the House and the President. They have a friendship. They have a relationship. I don't have anything specific to read out about any recent conversation on her trip. What I can say is reiterate a little bit of what the president said yesterday when he was asked about the speaker going, and he said, it was her right to go. Again, we're going to reiterate this. It was her right to go. There was precedence for this. As we know, Newt Gingrich, when he was speaker, went a generation ago. And again, it does not change our policy, our one China policy. It does not change any of that, and so I will leave it to the speaker. She spoke to this earlier today. She was on one of your colleagues' networks talking about her trip. So I'll let her speak to it directly.
Does the president agree, since you just mentioned her appearances this morning, that President Xi Jinping is a scared bully and in a fragile place?
I actually did not watch the interview, but I know that I know she was on. I know she was on. Look, she's going to speak for herself. She is the speaker. It is up to her to make decisions on where she will travel. It is